I bought this Half-Blood shirt and you can't even see it in the frame. And you're not even gonna be able to see it throughout the video. How lame. What up, reader fam? Today I'm going to be sharing my thoughts, opinions, and feels on Wapa! The Battle of the Labyrinth by Riordan. This is the 4th book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I finally made it to this point. I can't believe it. I have full video book reviews on the first 3 books in this series, so if you want to catch up on my thoughts on the first 3 books, I will leave links down below to those videos. Because this is the 4th book in this series, I can't say too much about this book without spoiling it, but I'll try to give you a little bit of a non-spoilery rundown here. This is by far my favorite book within this series. I really enjoyed the first 3 books. I didn't necessarily love them, but now that I've gotten to this point, I understand why people love this series. The books have started to get real, and the plot has just completely taken off. Things are exciting and nerve-wracking, and I am nervous as to where we're gonna go in this finale. But I'm also excited to see how Rick brings the series to a close in the last book. I think the first 3 books are worth reading just to get to this point, because this book is so freaking good, and I can't wait to talk about it today. So that's all I can say without spoiling anything. Obviously, there wasn't much I could say without spoiling, but if you haven't read this book, then shoo fly, go fly away, go read the book, then come back and discuss with me. If you have read this book, then let's discuss. I was a bad little reviewer and I was bad at taking notes throughout this reading experience, so this is gonna be a fun little review. So I first want to talk about Rachel. I wasn't expecting Rachel to be in this series as much as she is. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but when we were introduced to her in Titan's Curse, I was like, okay, cool, we've got this character who can see through the mist, but I didn't realize the role that she was going to play continuing on with this series. And I genuinely like her character. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily like Rachel, but I really enjoy her character. I feel like I remember being like a little bit annoyed with her in Titan's Curse, but we really don't get that much from her in that book. So in the opening of this book, she's like, yo, Percy, there's some cheerleaders and they've been stalking you, and they're not actually cheerleaders, they're monsters. Surprise, surprise, monsters disguised as normal people roaming Percy Jackson's school. I feel like that never happens at all, no. So we get out of this situation with the monster cheerleaders. Percy is supposed to have a date with Annabeth, but then it doesn't end up happening. As much as I said that I loved Rachel, she's kind of getting in between Percybeth from happening. Rachel gives Percy her number and it just looks so wrong to Annabeth, and I'm just like, no, please stop ruining Percybeth from happening, please. Anyway, we go back to Camp Half-Blood because there's a war a-brewing, y'all. We're introduced to this new character by the name of Quintus, and he's super duper suspicious, but I wasn't sure if he was just that way so that Rick Riordan could distract us from something else that was going on. Like maybe he's making this character suspicious to cover up this other character who's evil. But we come to find out that Quintus isn't really who he says he is. Hashtag Daedalus. I didn't see that coming. If you saw that coming, you is smart, and I is not. Annabeth gets a quest in this book, which I thought was really cool. I was really excited for her. So we go into this labyrinth, which was created by Daedalus. Still can't believe I didn't make the connection between Daedalus and Quintus. Like, come on now. They even sound similar. Quintus, Daedalus, they're one and the same. I loved the setting of the labyrinth. It just made for such a fun and nerve-wracking journey, because you kind of just don't know what to expect, who they're going to meet, and what's going to happen. And they meet a lot of people throughout their time in the labyrinth. I want to point out the fact that I just love the dynamic between Grover and Tyson. Tyson is like scared of Grover, which just kills me. I don't know why it's so funny to me, but I just picture Tyson as this big cyclops and he's scared of little innocent Grover. So they're going down into this labyrinth to find Daedalus. Daedalus, if only they knew that Daedalus is Quintus. They should have investigated Quintus a little bit more, just like me. Can you guys tell that I'm salty that I didn't make that connection? I loved that they had to bring Rachel on the quest, which I know I pointed out that I kind of hate the fact that she's like a wedge in between Percy and Annabeth and their relationship, but I still really like her. And she's clearly playing a big role in this series. I mean, if she wasn't an important character, we probably wouldn't have had her in this book. Anyway, they're making this way through the labyrinth, meeting lots of people, encountering lots of monsters, which sometimes I just cannot wrap my mind around what the monsters look like. Like some of those descriptions, I'm just like, okay, what? They're just so strangely described, and my brain just can't handle the strangeness. Also, can we talk about that Percybeth kiss though? Like, oh, scandalous. Percy and Annabeth sitting in a labyrinth. K-I-S-S-I-N-G. I know, guys, I'm really mature. But then Percy somehow ends up with Calypso, and I'm just like, how did this happen? Okay, it didn't just randomly happen. It happened after the explosion and whatnot. Anyways, I felt really bad for Calypso's character. She helps Percy get his feet back on the ground, and it was kind of sad in a weird way when he left Calypso. Obviously, I wasn't expecting him to stay there with her forever. Like, he's not just gonna turn his back on his friends and be like, like, yo, later guys, I'm just gonna stay here with Calypso forever. But they had a nice little moment together and I felt bad that he left her. Anyway, Percy gets back with his squad and then he finds Chronos' coffin. And this whole scene just completely threw me off and made me so confused until I realized what the heck was going on. So he opens the coffin and there lies Luke. And here lies me confused like no other. So Luke is possessed by Chronos. Okay. They find Pan and I'm just like, yeah, Grover found Pan. Oh yeah. And then Pan dies and I'm just like, oh, Grover, oh, I'm sorry. Then we go back to camp and it's battle time. It was epic and dark and I loved Grover's role in it all. And Daedalus, I was not expecting him to make the sacrifice that he did, which I don't know why I didn't expect that, but I was just like, bless your soul, sir. You're saving lots of lives today. I was dying at the end when Paul comes to Percy and asks him for permission to ask his mother to be his wife. I was just like, ah! My heart literally turned into mush, but not just any kind of mush, blue mush, because this is Percy Jackson we're talking about, y'all. So those are all my thoughts, opinions, and feels on the Battle of the Labyrinth. Obviously, like I said, I didn't do a very good job of taking notes, so I'm sorry if this review is crap, but I enjoyed talking about this book, and you guys should let me know down below what your favorite moment was from this book. Did it make you emotional at any point? How do you feel about Rachel? Do you agree with me? Do you like Rachel? Do you not like Rachel? Let me know down below all your thoughts on this book because I want to hear from you guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, choo. Hey, reader fam, what's up? I'm with Maureen.
Hey.
What are we about to do, Maureen?
Carve some pumpkins.
Carve some pumpkins. Carve.